Can I be your superhero?
Greetings, buzz humans, smugs, marks, hipsters, and trolls, and the rest of the relevant wrestling family. It's me, Joe Fortune, the voice of Relevant Wrestling Productions, and your humble narrator for this evening's event. This is Relevant Wrestling Goes Beyond. Now, I know it's been a while since I've done an episode. We've been putting a lot of focus on the flagship show, expanding our social media platforms. But now that everything's beginning to fall in line, and as we gear up for Mania week, Relevant Wrestling Goes Beyond is back on our monthly schedule. I can promise you guys that you're going to get at least one episode a month. If you are a returning listener and part of the Relevant Wrestling fam, we thank you for returning. If you are riding the buzzwaves with us for the first time, let me explain to you what goes on here on Relevant Wrestling Goes Beyond. Relevant Wrestling Goes Beyond is a monthly episodic podcast which exclusively covers content from New England-based Beyond Wrestling and its sister promotion, Women's Wrestling Revolution. Now, Buzz Humans, before we get into it, allow me to plug the social media so you can make sure to always stay relevant with us. Make sure to check out all our platforms. Join the group on Facebook at facebook.com/Relevant Wrestling. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Relevant Wrestling. Subscribe to the Relevant Wrestling Productions YouTube page. Make sure you check out the BuzzList. Got a bunch of cool matches that we've been vibing on this year and watching and sharing with each other. So that's an ever-growing list of all sorts of matches. New, old, classic, Joshi, Japanese, American, Mexican, you name it. New shit and old shit, relevant shit, and classic vintage shit. Make sure to check us out on Tumblr. That's right, we're back on Tumblr. Just going to be using that to post, reblog news, post pictures and memes that may or may not have made it onto the Instagram page. Also, we're going to be posting our upcoming indie shows list on there, so you guys can go on there. It's basically like a concert calendar. It'll just be a list of indie shows in the areas like where we are located. So like it'll have Chicago shows, because Dan's out there. It'll have a lot of New England and tri-state area shows because that's where the rest of the RR crew is. But yeah, so that way you don't miss out on any indie shows. You can go to all those and stay relevant, watch your favorite wrestlers perform, support indie wrestling. You can watch and chat with us on Periscope. I've been a little slacking on the Periscope, even though I did set us up there about 2 weeks ago. But that's because I want to get back, into the swing of things with this podcast. But yeah, we're going to try to do more preview and reaction videos to WWE events like pay-per-views and Raw and SmackDown, and just little videos here and there that we will be throwing up on the Periscope so you can interact with us on there. Listen to us on Audio Boom and Google Play Music. I'm trying to get us on iTunes and like Stitcher, a couple other listening places where you can listen to us as a podcast. If you want to check us out on YouTube, like I said earlier, I'll also have like these episodes up on there. You can check out the Relevant Wrestling Buzz Tunes mixtape on Spotify. If you got Spotify, Just look for me, Joe John Fortune, on there. Look at my public playlists, and you'll find the Relevant Wrestling Buzz Tunes mixtape on there. Got all of our favorite buzzworthy and relevant singles and tunes from this year that we are playing here at the Relevant Wrestling Studios. Make sure to read our reviews on our Facebook group notes page, and on the Japanese Puro Ichiban WordPress page. Guys, just real quick before we get into it, big shout outs to our friends at False Finish Productions, Super Kicking It with Kelsey, Heel Marks, Doing the Job Podcast, the Hudson Valley Wrestling Alliance, and Mr. Hudson Valley Wrestling himself, Tenacious Tyler. Hope to see most of you guys down at Mania Week in the Big Easy, New Orleans, for some awesome indie and WWE wrestling events. Buzz humans, kayfabe may be dead, but originality and diversity are not. Relevant Wrestling Productions, it's always relevant to us. Damn it. Alright, so let's get into it. This is Relevant Wrestling Goes Beyond. And first, let's talk about the fallout from the last couple of Beyond Wrestling shows. That was the February double shot, and those shows where I Won It All. That was in Enfield, Connecticut, and Abbondonza, which was in Massachusetts. Let's see. I got a couple points here, and I'll give you guys my opinions on the 5 or 6 little points I have here. And then we will talk about some cool news, and we'll give previews of the upcoming Beyond Wrestling Hope show, their Rhode Island return show, give you a review of the Women's Wrestling Revolution show in Worcester at the end of the month, and then we'll talk a little bit about the April 5th New Orleans show, the intergender card show, Lit Up. But like I said, let's get first into the fallout from the February double shot. Now that Tracy Williams, congratulations, hot sauce, is the brand new Powerbomb TV champion. He beat John Gresham. This kind of like split up Stokely Hathaway's dream team. So you got MJF, who pretty much was the one that convinced Gresham to put the title on the line. Originally it was just going to be Gresham was trying to pull this gimmick where he was injured and he didn't work the Saturday show, but then he worked the Sunday show. He was just supposed to put the title on the line against Martin Stone, but Williams talked his way into the match with the help of MJF on Saturday night, made it a triple threat. So with Williams winning the belt, that obviously sent a rift in the Dream Team, and it looks like Stokely Hathaway chose MJF. And Gresham is on his own now with no title at all. So so much for the Dream Team. Now I'm hoping Stokely adds some more people to it. I got some people that I would love to see on the Dream Team. It really depends who Beyond books, but I hope this isn't the end of the Dream Team, and I hope Stokely brings in some more people to add to it, and looks like him and MJF are squatted up now. Nick Gage had a really successful weekend at Beyond. He beat Joey Janela, who is the ace of Beyond Wrestling, so maybe Gage could make a claim that he's the he is the Gage. Make a claim that he's the god, he's the fucking man, he's the king of violence. Now maybe he could add the ace of Beyond Wrestling to that list. He had a great weekend. He not only, like I said, defeated Janela, but he also represented his Game Changer Wrestling brand as their reigning and defending champion when he beat Ricky Shane Page in a 20,000 thumbtacks match. Guys, if you haven't seen that match, I would I'll kind of like go out. I would suggest go out of your way to see that one. I don't know if it was don't know if it was the best match of the weekend, but it's definitely one of my favorites. I mean, there are some pretty brutal spots in there, 20,000 thumbtacks. Beyond has been embracing more of these hardcore matches lately, and I'm definitely down for that because I like the variety of matches that they do on their cards. And also, they don't go too crazy with the hardcore matches that they do and the violent matches. They don't really do death matches yet, just kind of like hardcore matches with stipulations. Excuse me. So, I felt like that was a good match. It got a good amount of time, and like I said, Gage, he beat Ricky Shane Page, which I feel like is a really big win for Gage, also because Ricky Shane Page is the CZW, at least at the time of this recording, and he hasn't lost it yet. He is the CZW heavyweight champion. Now, that title was not on the line at Beyond Wrestling, but even in a non-title match for Nick Gage to have put his Game Changer World Championship on the line, so it was a title match. It was not a title versus title match, but for Gage to be the only one to put his title on the line in a hardcore match like that, stipulation hardcore match, 20,000 thumbtacks, and come out victorious, yeah, a lot of momentum behind Mr. MDK. All right, so Skylar's big upset. Now, she won a match on Saturday night by beating Jordan Grace. I don't really know if that means anything or if I'm just looking too far into things, but Jordan pretty much considered the ace of women's wrestling revolution. I mean, she won the women's battle royal match at the last WWR show, the Women's Revolution Battle Royal, and she, I forget what the official name for it is, but she won that match to earn the right to face Danielle Dashwood at the upcoming show this month. So I don't know if that loss to Skylar really affects her status as ace of the company. It doesn't really affect her position, so to speak, but might be a little taxing on her psyche. But Jordan and her partner Lufisto in Team Pog was successful over the Beaver Boys. They've been feuding with John Silver recently, and they just beat him and his tag team partner. So that was good. So she does have a little bit of momentum and heat going into her big match against formerly known as Emma. Is Team Pazuzu back together? Well, we saw the split last year. We saw the big TLC match at the New Year's Eve show, and we saw the LAX portion, or at least that's right, Ortiz and Santana defeated American Strong, Jay Freddy, and Rory Gulak. But after the match, they were jumped by Dan Barry's Amityville Project, and Dickinson and Rocca came down to make the save. Kind of like interesting, right? I mean, they didn't really shake hands or anything. They had like a little stare off at the end. And yeah, that kind of like made me wonder, are they teasing getting back together? Maybe not. But, do I want to see the 4-on-4 Team Pazuzu versus Amityville Project match? Hell yeah, I do. So even if they get back together, one more time just to have that match, I really think that's probably what it's leading to. One more time, Tracy Williams, new Powerbomb TV champion. Congratulations once again to him for that. Let's hope he defends it all over like Gresham was. I mean, I know Gresham only lost it on like his 7th or 8th title defense. I don't know how I really feel about Williams as the Powerbomb champion, to be honest with you guys. I was kind of feeling John Grisham's new octopus gimmick being more of a technically sound heel who really would do anything to keep his title. I don't know. I don't know if Powerbomb TV jumped the gun by putting the belt or pulled the trigger, whatever you want to say, too soon by putting the belt on Tracy Williams. But props to him for being the second champ. Interesting though that they've only had that title for like, less than a year, and they've already got two champions out of it. But I think maybe that's what they were going for. Interesting that it's been less than a year, and that this is their second champion. We'll see if Williams can represent the brand properly, and as we head into Mania week, and this next Beyond show. I wanted to say that Beyond has a new commentator, Paul Crockett from Pro Wrestling Insider. I think he's been doing a great job. He seems to know a lot about the product, the history of wrestling. He's good with dates. He knows about Japan. He knows about specific, wrestling championships and stuff like that, and big events and tournaments. And he kind of like weaves that all into his commentary. So big ups to you, Paul Crockett, for becoming one of the new permanent commentators for Beyond Wrestling. Hopefully you'll be doing it for Women's Wrestling Revolution as well. And, it'll give him a chance to work with some of the other wrestlers who usually come in the commentating booth, like Stokely, MJF, Tracy Williams. And it'll give, Drew sometimes is in the booth too. So it'll give Drew more time to focus on behind the scenes stuff and, be readily available to call audibles in case anything goes wrong on the show, God forbid, touch wood. So again, props to you, Crockett, for being being a new permanent commentator for Beyond Wrestling. Another big ups to Beyond for being covered on a SportsIllustrated.com article. I'll pull that article up right now. This article is from Sports Illustrated magazine. It's from the 14th. It's from Justin Barrasso, who is been kind of known to be like a bit of a dirt sheeter. So this is nice to see. I don't know what you call this. This isn't an opinion piece, but this is like a focus piece maybe. It's it's like more of a news piece or an editorial than like a rumor sheet, or rumor article that he usually puts out. But if you check out his article from, like I said, March 14th, this is says Week in Wrestling, UFC champ Stipe Miocic on Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey. And WrestleMania 34 update. If you guys scroll all the way down past the Brock Lesnar and the UFC stuff and past the WWE stuff, there is a nice little feature on Beyond Wrestling. It's almost at the bottom, but it's there, and it's pretty awesome that they got covered. There's a cool clip from a match of Tracy Williams versus MJF, and it's great to see them get covered by a major news outlet like Sports Illustrated. If you guys are going to be at the show this weekend on the 18th, Beyond Wrestling Hope in East Greenwich, Rhode Island, then you will see a brand new piece of merchandise that's on sale. There's a brand new Beyond Wrestling shirt. I really dig the design of this one. It's a play off of the Rhode Island flag. It says home on it, and it has like a bunch of yellow stars and a circle around it. That's kind of, like I said, a play off of the Rhode Island flag, which it's pretty much the Rhode Island, the design of the Rhode Island flag is a gold anchor with 13 stars around it, 13 gold stars around it to represent the to represent the original colonies, and a blue banner with the word Hope on it. Now, Hope is the name of the show this weekend, but the shirt says Home on it, and I think that is a reference to Beyond Wrestling returning home to Rhode Island. After they stopped doing shows at FET Lounge and after the closing of Aurora, it was kind of like uncertain whether or not Beyond would find a new home in Rhode Island, but it seems like they have at the Varnum Memorial Armory in East Greenwich, and let's hope that they can sell out this weekend and make that their new permanent venue for Rhode Island, and get back to their roots. Now, guys, I actually have made a big botch, but my botch could be your cheap win. What I'm saying, guys, is that I got my dates with work confused about when my vacation time was, and I bought tickets to Beyond Hope. On Sunday, I bought 2 tickets, 2 general admission tickets, and I'm stuck with them. I can't go on Sunday. But if any of you are listening out there, please try to get in contact with me over to social media if you're looking for a set of tickets. I know the weekend's coming. We're just a few days off from the show. I paid face value for the tickets. But if you PM me, DM me, whatever, slide into the emails, the DMs, I will give you a good deal on them because I'm not looking to make any money on them. I'm not even looking to get face value on them. I will give them to you for a little bit less than face value. If you're listening to this and you're a Relevant Wrestling listener and you say that you heard me talk about it on the Goes Beyond podcast. But that's it for that. I'm not going to chill too much more on here. That's not what this is about. But yeah, I do have a pair of tickets that I'm looking to get rid of if you're looking to support Beyond and go to an awesome show on Sunday. So Hope will be on Sunday, March 18th. 1 p.m. is a VIP entry. 1:30 p.m. is a general admission entry. 2 p.m. is the bell time. It's at the Varnum Memorial Armory in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Tickets are still on sale, but VIP tickets are sold out. You can still get early admission tickets and general admission tickets on the Beyond Wrestling website. All tickets are held at the door, guys. They're like will call tickets, so don't worry if you have never been to a show before and you buy tickets and you pay and you're like, where are my tickets? I got the confirmation email, but I didn't get the tickets. You will be on a list, and just make sure you bring your photo ID and a copy of that email, either on your phone or print it out. So let's run down the card. We'll start at the bottom. Of course, card subject to change, and tickets are non-refundable, but here we go. Scheduled to compete at Hope with the 2 p.m. bell time, but not announced yet for matches, are Ace Austin, Myron Reed, and Trey Miguel. I don't really know anything about Ace Austin, so I can't really comment on the guy. Myron Reed and Trey Miguel, I think I saw them at What 3, which is JT Dunn's promotion, this past Sunday in Providence. I think I saw them there. I can't really remember, when I'm just being honest. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll get some decent matches. Maybe it'll be like a 4-way scramble or something. They'll add 1 or 2 more people in the mix. Could just be a triple threat match between those 3 names. We'll see. But with that said, I'm sure if Drew's booking them on his return to Rhode Island and their local guys, he definitely sees some potential in them. So that's great that Miguel and Reed are getting booked. Ace Austin again. Sorry, bro. I don't know where you're from, but hopefully you'll impress me when I watch this show. Let's start with the first match on the card. We got Orange Cassidy versus Shockwave the Robot. Guys, I don't know if you've ever seen Shockwave before. Those of you who are beyond wrestling regulars, I'm not even sure who really plays him, but he cracks me up. I know this is going to be the comedy match. You know, I'm not really a big fan of the comedy matches, but I know a lot of you guys out there are down for them. And Beyond does a variety of matches on their cards, so they got to get one comedy match in. Let it be that one and get it early. That one should be funny. I can probably see the Robot going over here. Now we got Wheeler Yuda versus John Gresham. This is like Gresham's obviously first match and Beyond since losing the Powerbomb TV championship. Yuda just won the, I know it's 2018, but you know, some certain circumstances have prevented this tournament from going down the way that it should have. But Wheeler Yuda defeated MJF on Saturday, a Saturday show, and he finally won the Beyond Wrestling 2017 tournament for tomorrow. So he's on a little bit of a kick from that, even though he lost to Martin Stone on Sunday. So him and Gresham, I guess I would say that they're both looking to regain some momentum in, Beyond. This should be a really good technical match. Definitely one I'm looking forward to. Speaking of MJF, he will be accompanied by Stokely Hathaway, represented by. So look, it looks like Stokely has definitely chosen his man in this whole situation here. He's going with MJF, and oddly enough, MJF will be wrestling Jonathan Grisham's girlfriend, baby PAWG herself, Jordan Grace. This should be a really awesome intergender match. Jordan's got a big match next week, the following week, against Tenille at Beyond Wrestling from the Pinnacle to the Pit. So if she can pick up a win here against MJF, then shit, man, that'll be awesome. And that'll definitely give her some momentum against Emma, formerly known as Emma. I can't really see her beating Tenille, just because I'm sure that's the way things work with her booking, But it'll be nice for her to get some momentum and stick it to the Dream Team. Now here's an interesting one. The ace, well, the self-proclaimed ace of Beyond Wrestling, David Starr, returns after his little European excursion to face who many people are calling this man the breakout star, even though he doesn't probably. No, I'm telling you, he just does not like you. Yeah, Josh Briggs. So we're gonna have Starr versus Briggs here. I think Starr's gonna, he wants to be the ace of Beyond Wrestling, right? I think he'll do something a little sneaky to get the win over the big man. Briggs don't need the win because he's still, his buzz is still building, so if he loses this match, it's not really going to affect his buzz too much, especially if Starr does something shady to win. But either way, I think that's going to be one hell of a match. Now we got a couple tag team matches, actually a few tag team matches on here. We have the Beaver Boys of, we have the Beaver Boys of John Silver and his partner Alex Reynolds against this is a really interesting fucking interesting. What do I think? This is a really fucking awesome combo here. Two of my favorite guys right now. The King, Nick Gage. The God, Nick Gage. The hardcore motherfucker. And Father Matt Tremont. Just saw Tremont fight Homicide on Sunday at 3? That was a really awesome match. If you remember last time that Tremont was in a match for Beyond Wrestling, it was at Heavy Lies the Crown on New Year's Eve, where he pulled an upset victory over Matt Riddle in an open challenge match, where Riddle issued open challenge. The Beaver Boys just lost to Lufisto and Jordan Grace, so they're going to really need some momentum going into this match and really need to be on the same page here to beat these two violent motherfuckers. But here's the thing, like, you know, Gage kind of represents his Game Changer brand. Tremont, he's been in Game Changer, you know, and he has his own H2O promotion. He's been in CZW. I mean, they've been kind of, you know, their paths have crossed. They've been rivals in all of those promotions. So it'll be very interesting to see how this pairing works out, if they can get along. I could definitely see maybe this match getting thrown out, and Gage and Tremont wind up just beating the shit out of each other. I would love for this to lead to a Game Changer championship match coming up sometime at an upcoming show between Tremont and Gage. I don't know when they'll be able to do it. Maybe after Mania. We'll see. After Mania week. But yeah, I don't think that this match is going to go straight. It's definitely going to break down. Maybe one of the Beaver Boys will get a cheap roll-up over Gage or Tremont, and it'll set them off, and that'll cause them to fight for things to break down between them. But I don't know. I think this match is just gonna get thrown out, and we're gonna see something crazy happen. Another match where we're definitely gonna see some crazy shit happen. We got Jake and Dave Christ, Ohio versus Everything versus Doom Patrol, the Dirty Daddy and Jaka. This match is gonna be fucking awesome. I know they've been trying to do this match for a while. Finally, we get these four guys together. Doom Patrol, who could basically be, considered the top tag team in Beyond. I don't know, even though things are a little hectic with them and, LAX, E Y FeO, former Team Pazuzu. But Ohio versus Everything is back in Beyond, making their return. This is going to be a good one. Oh, man. Maybe, I want to give it to my boys, Doom Patrol. But I think Ohio versus Everything might pull out the win here. Speaking of E Y FeO and the other half of the former Team Pazuzu, E Y FeO has a tag team match against Janela P. Joey Janela, the ace, the bad boy, and the ace, like I said, of Beyond Wrestling, and his lovely girlfriend, Penelope Ford. Guys, as a tag team, so far they're on a little bit of a roll. Even though Joey lost to Gage at the last Beyond show, he and Penelope do have 2 wins coming out of that weekend. So if they can beat E Y FeO, then they've beaten Doom Patrol, Beaver Boys, and E Y FeO, who could be considered top tag teams in Beyond. And I think that really gives Joey the right to call himself the ace, because he's dominated the Beyond singles scene. I know he lost to Nick Gage, okay, but he's coming off of 2 tag team matches. And maybe he's trying to step into the tag team scene with Penelope, because he already had the title of Ace of Beyond as a singles guy. So, Beyond doesn't have any titles. We've been seeing the Game Changer and the Powerbomb TV championships getting defended often there, but no real tag team titles. Obviously Impact isn't gonna let E Y FeO bring the Impact titles and defend them. So, having the title of top, just the title of being the top tag team in Beyond is something that would be really cool to see Janela P move into. The other team that really wants to claim top, as far as like, I guess they're not really a team, but a stable is Amityville Project. I'm sure there's a match down the line. I would like to see a match down the line like Galleon and Verna versus Janelope. But let's see how this match goes. I'm going to give this one to Janelope again. That'll be a huge upset, if they beat E Y FeO. And if they do, like I said, that'll really cement them as the aces of the Beyond Wrestling tag team scene. And in the main event, or what I would assume would be the main event, we have in his first Powerbomb TV Championship title defense, we have Tracy Williams versus Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana, he, I don't know how he got this match. Maybe just because he's a name and he's considered a draw. I'm not like the biggest fan of Colt Cabana. I do kind of like I don't really, to be honest with you. His commentary that he does for his commentary that he does for Ring of Honor is all right. But I'm not the biggest fan. He'll be taking on Tracy Williams for the Powerbomb TV Championship. I do not see Tracy Williams losing to Colt Cabana, even though Cabana is like a former NWA champion. It'll be a big win for Williams to tap Cabana out. And, that's what I see happening. I just don't see this goofball Cabana beating Williams, even though, like I said, I'm not completely sold on Williams as the Powerbomb TV champion. But maybe a win over a big name like this, or what some people consider a big name. I don't. Maybe a win. Some decisive wins will make me a believer in hot sauce. All right, so that's the card for Hope. Again, guys, Sunday, March 18th. Tickets on sale at beyondwrestling.com, or like I said, hit me up. I got a pair of tickets for sale that I could sell you a little cheaper. At the Varnum Memorial Armory, 6 Main Street, East Greenwich, Rhode Island. 1 p.m. VIP entry, 1:30 p.m. general admission entry, and 2 p.m. bell time. Now, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming Women's Wrestling Revolution show, From the Pinnacle to the Pit. This is the big one that is being headlined by formerly known as Emma Tennille Dashwood versus the ace of Women's Wrestling Revolution, Jordynne Grace. Let's look at the rest of the card and see who's been confirmed and what matches have been announced. So, Women's Wrestling Revolution, From the Pinnacle to the Pit, will be on Sunday, March 25th, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. VIP entry, 1:30 p.m. general admission entry. There will be a 2 p.m. Powerbomb TV pregame show, and the main card will start at 3:30 p.m. So, guys, this will be a long show. That should be a fun one. Just about a week shy of Mania week. So, get you geared up for those long days and nights. We still have VIP and general admission tickets on sale. Again, all tickets will be held at the door. Will call. Just make sure you bring a photo ID and your PayPal receipt. VIP is at 1 p.m. Like I said, From Pinnacle to Pit. Let's start at the bottom. We got a bunch of names announced on here, but not no matches scheduled yet. And then we do have a bunch of matches that are set. So these are the names that are booked but don't have matches yet. We have Ali Rex, Davian, who I'm a big fan of, Delmi Exo, Faye Jackson, Kennedy Copeland, Solo Darling, Tara Calloway, and another lady who I'm a really big fan of, Willow Nightingale. So I'm sure we'll get a bunch of cool matchups out of those names. Now, as far as the matches that we do have confirmed, we have Karen Q and Tasha Steeles versus Alexis and Jillian Lee in a tag team match. I like Karen Q and Tasha Steeles as a tag team. They've had success before together in Beyond Wrestling. So this one will be, I don't know what else to say about this match, except it'll be cool to see a tag team match because so far no other tag team matches have been booked. We have Barbie Hayden, who I'm really not familiar with her. I think this is her her Women's Wrestling Revolution debut. She will be taking on the bad girl herself, Penelope Ford. Like I said earlier about Penelope and Joey, they've been on a roll as a tag team, as singles competitors. Maybe Joey's had a little bit more success than Penelope has, and this is Barbie's debut, so I could see her getting the upset win here. We'll see. But yeah, probably Barbie will go over Penelope in this one. We got Rachel Ellering versus Skylar. Like I said, Skylar pulled a big upset over Jordan Grace at the Enfield show last month. So it's really possible she could beat Rachel here. I saw Rachel in a triple threat match this past Sunday at against Britt Baker and Sonja Strong, and she was victorious there. I know that doesn't have any effect on her booking in Beyond Wrestling, but that would be a big win for Skylar, again, if she beat Rachel. And maybe they're going to go with this upset victory gimmick kind of thing for her. So I could actually see Skylar going over Rachel in this one. Speaking of Sonja Strong, this match I think is going to be really fucking awesome. And this one I might be looking forward to a little bit more than the main event. So this is Dianna Perazzo versus Sonja Strong. I think that Dianna could make a good claim herself as being ace of Beyond Wrestling. I'm still waiting for the Dianna and Jordan Grace match. I don't know when Drew's going to give it to us, probably after Mania week, after the dust settles from all that. But, wow, Sonja's been racking up some wins too. Look, this is awesome. You got Dianna, Sonja, and Jordan, who really can make claims for being the top lady in Women's Wrestling Revolution. And Jordan's got pretty much like the biggest match of the weekend, maybe, I'll say the biggest match of her career. So whoever wins Dianna versus Sonja should definitely fight whoever wins Jordan and Jordan and Tenille. And, that will really determine who's the ace of Women's Wrestling Revolution. But I'm definitely looking forward to Perazzo versus Strong. Wow, here's another match I'm looking forward to just because of the names on here. I don't know if their styles are going to mesh or clash, but we'll see. We got Lufisto, who, props to Lufisto. A lot of love sent her way. She's battling cervical cancer and she's still taking fucking bookings and wrestling every weekend. She's a fucking... That's awesome, man. She's a fucking hero. I'll tell you that. And she is definitely a role model for women's wrestlers and just for wrestlers everywhere. She'll be taking on Shotzi Blackheart, who I'm really happy to see Schatzi getting some New England area bookings. I saw her last year at a show. I think it was a Shimmer show. Yeah, it had to be Shimmer. During Mania week in Orlando, and I really dug her gimmick. And she had a match recently, I think, against Alley Cat, who I also really, really like. I can't remember off the top of my head what promotion that was for. I do know that I saw it on Beyond Wrestling. I mean, not Beyond Wrestling. I'm sorry, on Powerbomb TV last week. But yeah, I like Schatzi. I really like Fisto, and I think this will be an awesome one. They'll bang out for a little while and have a really good match. And the main event, Tenille Dashwood, formerly known as Emma, versus Jordan Grace. I don't know. Emma's first match in Women's Wrestling Revolution. She's a big name, former WWE girl, so I really can't see Jordan going over her just because I feel like the way that Emma's bookings are right now, she may have creative control over her booking, so she might not want to lose, at least not yet anyway. But either way, I think it'll be one hell of a match. Emma's involved. I keep calling her Emma. Whatever, it doesn't matter if I call her Emma. Even though I like to keep up with their current gimmicks. Tenille is currently in the Ring of Honor Women of Honor Championship tournament. So, if she's going to be working extensively with Ring of Honor, I can't really see them wanting her to lose to Jordan here. Which sucks because if Jordan wins, that'll be a huge, huge win for her, and she can definitely, claim that she is Ace of Beyond Wrestling, but I just don't see it happening. I'm sorry, Jordan. This one's got to go to Tenille. So there we have it. Once again, let me give you the info on it so you can make sure to get there and support the show. I think this will be on Powerbomb. I don't know if these will be streamed live on Powerbomb TV, this show or the Beyond show. Hope, but I know that eventually they will be on Powerbomb TV. They may not be live, but the replays will be on there on the video on demand, so don't you worry about that. But if you want to check it out live, make sure to get your asses into those seats over at Women's Wrestling Revolution on Sunday, March 25th at Electric Haze, 26 Millbury Street in Worcester, Massachusetts. 1 p.m. VIP entry, 1:30 p.m. general admission entry, 2 p.m. Powerbomb TV pregame show, and the Women's Wrestling Revolution main card from Pinnacle to Pit kicks off at 3:30 p.m. Now, lastly, before we sign off here, guys, let's talk about Mania week. There's so much that we can talk about, but what I want to talk about is the Beyond show that is going to be held at Mania week. Drew was teasing some funny shit on Twitter last year and the beginning of this year. I tried to get this joke that he started going where he said that he wanted to book the exact same card that Joey Janela booked last year at his spring break show. But, Drew always being the innovator that he is, the man who can say that he held the first professional wrestling match of 2018, decided to do something really awesome and book a all intergender card for the 4-5 New Orleans show. Lit Up. That show is at 11:55 p.m. on Thursday night. So make sure if you are down for Mania week and you want to do the late night thing and you're not going anything else because there's a ton of shit going on that week, that you hit up Beyond Wrestling Lit Up. Get lit up if you want to see a really awesome, unique card. Now, we've got some matches already announced. and we've got a very awesome return announced. So, what should we get to first? Well, let's get to the announced matches. We have Doom Patrol of Chris Dickinson and Jaka versus Twisted Sisters of Thunder Rosa and Holly Dead. I don't really know too much about Thunder Rosa, but I did see Holly Dead and Sue Young have an awesome Texas death match. Even though, say what you will about IWA Mid-South, I saw on Powerbomb TV they had a really cool match last week. So I was a big fan of that. I like Sue Young's work, but she's not on this card. But Holly Dead is with her tag team partner Thunder Rosa. And of course, we love the Doom Patrol, Chris Dickinson and Jaka. And I know that my boys from the Suck Me crew are going to be down there. Suck Me! That's right. And we are going to be partying it out and repping hard for Doom Patrol. So, yeah, that will be a good match for sure. We got a 4-way match between Mia Yim, David Starr, Tessa Blanchard, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman. We have the Rumblebees making their debut in Beyond Wrestling. That's Solo Darling and Travis Huckabee versus Joey Ryan and Laura James. Yeah, you guys all know how raunchy Joey Ryan can get, so this one should be awesome, especially since it's going to be a late night match. We got Tony Storm and Tony Storm versus Timothy Thatcher. Woo! Tony, who could be considered, one of the top Joshi wrestlers right now. Pretty awesome for a gaijin. I mean, can you call someone from New Zealand a gaijin? I don't know. You guys can correct me in the comments. You got Tony, who's killing it right now. Tony 4 belts. I know she's got the Revolution Pro belt. I think she's got the WXW belt. Maybe she's got the Progress belt, women's belt. So that's 3. She's got 2 belts in Stardom. That's 5. I don't know. Tony's racking up titles. But damn, Tim Thatcher versus Tony. Whew. That's going to be one hell of a stiff match. And, yeah, that's one to watch. We got Joey Janela and Penelope Ford versus Darby Allin and Priscilla Kelly originally. I don't know why they've been pulled from the show. I know that Priscilla was pulled from the Evolve shows, and I thought that was a storyline. That was an angle. So if someone can tell me why Darby and Priscilla were pulled from this show, I would appreciate that. I know Darby's working a match in Connecticut coming up, and I would be able to ask him if I was able to get to that show, but it's an early show. It's a daytime show this coming Sunday, and I can't get to that. So if someone could let me know why Darby and Priscilla aren't working the Beyond shows, or their bookings have changed for Mania weekend and Mania week, let me know. But Joey and Penelope, the team of Janela P, will be taking on the debuting Session Moth Martina, who I've heard a lot of positive and negative things about. I don't know if I'm necessarily sold on her drunk British university student gimmick, raver gimmick. And freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy himself. So I guess this will be our comedy match of the night. Take it for what you will. And in another really awesome match, this could be considered a dream match, I guess. We got Dianna Perazzo versus Matt Riddle. So that should be really fucking sweet. And guys, I'm sure as you've heard, this has been bittersweet for her. Bitter because she has lost an opportunity with the WWE, but sweet because independent wrestling has their princess back. That's right, Abby Lath now returning to the indies as Kimberly. She will be making her first independent wrestling match. Having her first independent wrestling match since being released from WWE or from NXT at Lit Up in New Orleans. We don't have an opponent for her yet, announced yet, but Drew has been fielding requests on Twitter. So we'll see. I mean, I know a lot of people want to see her against Josh Briggs. They want to see the rematch of her against Dickinson, but Dickinson's already booked. We want to see Kimber versus Briggs. We want to see Kimber versus MJF. But he's already booked. Want to see Kimber versus Ace Romero. We want to see Kimber versus Brian Malonis. We want to see Kimber versus Keith Lee again. We want to see Kimber versus DJZ. Oh man, the list goes on. But this is an intergender match card, like I said. So yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed for Kimber versus Briggs. I'm really hoping that that's what they go with. We'll see though. So yeah, I will be at that show. Unfortunately, like I said, I cannot make it to the show this weekend, the 318 Beyond Wrestling show, but I do have a set of tickets for that show for sale. I won't be able to make it to the 325 Women's Wrestling Revolution show either, but I'll try to do written reviews of both of those shows for the notes page and the Tumblr, and get those out. I'll be watching those on Powerbomb TV regardless, so I might as well write about them. And like I said, I'll be at a ton of shows for Mania Week, repping the Relevant Wrestling Productions brand. And I will be at Lit Up at 11:55 p.m. on 4/5. So I'll see all you Buzz humans there. So let's get to closing this thing out. So you guys can get back to watching matches and supporting indie wrestling. Guys, once again, if you will be so kind as to check out all of our social media so you may continue to stay relevant and ride the buzzwaves with us. Join the group on Facebook.com/Relevant Wrestling. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Relevant Wrestling. Subscribe to Relevant Wrestling Productions YouTube page. Check out our BuzzList, a list of awesome matches that will pop you, piss you off maybe, matches you've never seen, maybe some favorite matches, classic matches, relevant matches, vintage matches, all types of buzzworthy matches nonetheless. We're back. Our Tumblr is back up and hopefully going to have consistent content on there. Content that you may see on some of our other platforms, content that you may not see on some of our other platforms, like our monthly independent show calendar. Consider it kind of like a concert calendar, or basically an indie wrestling show list of upcoming shows in the tri-state area and some other areas where our Relevant Wrestling team resides. So you Buzz humans can make sure to get out to the matches and support indie wrestling live. Make sure to watch and chat with us on Periscope. We've set up an account on there, and we're going to be trying to do more previews, live reviews, and reactions for events that we watch together as a group. I'll try to do some little videos myself on there, showing off some merchandise and magazines, t-shirts and stuff that I got, some of the vintage wrestling merchandise that I got. We'll see how you guys like those, how the response is for that, and see if we continue with that. Make sure to listen to all of our podcasts, the flagship show, I Dream of Joshi, and this very show, Relevant Wrestling Goes Beyond, on Audio Boom and Google Play Music. Going to try to get us onto Stitcher and iTunes before Mania week, but I can't promise anything because we're working on a lot of content, so stay tuned to the social media that we do have, so you don't miss any of our Mania week content. Check out my account on Spotify, Joe John Fortune. That's me. Joe Fortune, is my gimmick name, but my real name is Joe John Fortune, and you can find me on Spotify and check out the Relevant Wrestling BuzzTunes mixtape. Make sure to read our reviews on the Facebook group notes page and the Japanese Pro Ichiban WordPress page. Big shout out once again to False Finish Productions, Super Kicking It with Kelsey, the Heel Marks, Doing the Job podcast, the HVWA, and Tenacious Tyler. This has been Relevant Wrestling Goes Beyond. Guys, don't forget to support Beyond Wrestling and Women's Wrestling Revolution. Support indie wrestling. Stay buzzworthy, stay relevant. Kayfabe may be dead, but originality and diversity are not. Relevant Wrestling Productions, it's always relevant to us. Damn it. Peace.